him. To give us some insight from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Art Keller, who spent years working on terrorist operations for the CIA and was based in Pakistan while working on the hunt for Bin Laden. And from Washington, Michael Scheuer, a former CIA senior officer who headed up the Bin Laden search hunt. Gentlemen, good morning to the both of you.
Good morning.
Art, I'm going to start with you. It's been 8 years now, like we mentioned. Are we any closer to capturing Bin Laden?
I think we are, but not necessarily because of what we are doing here, but because there's been a significant shift in Pakistani public opinion. And that has kind of empowered the Pakistani army and our allies to be more proactive about cracking down on the Taliban and the people that Al-Qaeda depend on for support.
Michael, let me ask you, does this shift in public perception in Pakistan help? I know the Pakistani government has provided enough resistance. They've made the search a little bit more difficult over the years.
Well, I think there has been a shift, but also it's been complemented by a shift in a great deterioration in the receptivity of Pakistanis to the United States. It may well be that the efforts made by the Pak Army are being offset to a great deal by a really dislike for the United States at this point.
Michael, do you think the CIA, I mean, is this still a priority for the CIA right now, or is it on the back burner? Are there other issues that are bigger at play here?
No, this is not a back burner issue in terms of where it ranks on the list of priorities, but it's certainly not getting enough manpower or attention simply because we're losing the insurgency in Afghanistan. And the primary responsibility of the CIA right now, along with the military, is to try to make sure that President Karzai's government survives. So you have to choose between duties, and I think at the moment we're clearly focused more on fighting the Taliban than chasing Bin Laden.
Okay, Art, so if the focus is on fighting the Taliban rather than chasing Bin Laden, give people an idea of just, I guess, how many people are focusing on trying to find Bin Laden. In what area, you've been in Pakistan, where do you feel he is currently?
Well, I was more in the southern part of the tribal regions. He hadn't been suspected to be in that area for quite a while. Current guesses or rumors, the last that I heard, were that he was more in the northern part. And these are all vague at this point, Chitral, Deer. As to how many people, I can't tell, because since 2006, I don't know if they've expanded the number up or down, but it's not a large number. You would think, given the resources of the federal government, it would be hundreds and hundreds, but last I heard, at least on the Pakistani side of the border, it would have been significantly below that. And that's not a bad idea, as Mike was saying. The focus is really on fighting the Taliban, and to the extent that you negatively impact the Taliban, you're also hurting Al-Qaeda, because Al-Qaeda depends on them for logistical support and other things.
Michael, how much of an active role is he still playing in the leadership of what goes on with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda?
Well, I'm not sure he has much of a role in Taliban leadership. I think he probably is consulted but doesn't have any command and control. But in terms of his own organization, he's perfectly well in control. Our presidents, our last two presidents at least, have told us that he's running from rock to rock and cave to cave. And clearly that's not the case. I think Mr. Keller would tell you that if a terrorist or an insurgent is moving around a lot, he'll make a mistake and you'll get him. Bin Laden is safe wherever he is. He's certainly communicating with his organization, given the availability of satellite communications. Yeah. So I think he's in control.
And obviously that $25 million reward has not done much good for the United States over the past few years. Gentlemen, thank you very much for taking the time. Art Keller, Michael Scheuer, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now here's Debbie. Debbie?
All right, Chris.